Hello everyone and welcome back to Navakokan Education Society's DBJ College Chipudun. Myself Mr. Arun Jadhav, Department of Environment Education and Water Security. Our today's topic is soil and soil pollution. Now soil is very important component of environment. It is equally important like water and air. This soil provides mechanical support to the plants on which all other living organisms are dependent. The soil formation takes millions of years. The process of soil formation is very slow. The 1 inch layer of soil takes millions of years to form, and therefore soil is a non-renewable source. And this soil is getting polluted day by day. Let us start with definition of soil pollution. Soil pollution is nothing but undesirable change or undesirable changes in the physical, chemical and biological characteristics of soil due to natural or man-made activities. So any undesirable change or changes in the physical, chemical and biological characteristics of soil due to natural or man-made activities is nothing but soil pollution. And as discussed earlier, as soil takes millions of years to form, therefore it is non-renewable source. So this is all about definition of soil pollution. Now let us talk about sources of soil pollution. There are so many sources of soil pollution. Let us discuss all the sources. First important source is pesticides and insecticides. Now pesticides and insecticides are used in the agricultural practices to prevent agricultural crops, to protect agricultural crops from insects and pest organisms. So here is the picture that tells us about how are pesticides and insecticides spread on the soil, which leads to the soil pollution. So here we can see the pesticides which are sprayed on the soil and which ultimately results in soil pollution. So pesticides and insecticides that are sprayed on the crops are responsible for the pollution of soil. Now the second important source here is again the pesticide and insecticide. How here we can see that the runoff, water runoff results in again soil pollution as well as water pollution. Second important source is fertilizers, chemical fertilizers especially. Now as we all know, chemical fertilizers are used to increase agricultural yield. Chemical fertilizers cause deterioration of the balance in the composition of soil. So chemical fertilizers changes structure or composition of soil. It decreases or increases soil pH. So soil pH is altered due to fertilizers. Soil structure deterioration as discussed earlier. It disturbs structure of the soil. It accumulates on the uppermost layer of the soil. Many of the times fertilizers or their residues are accumulated on the uppermost layer of the soil. So accumulation of minerals is there due to these chemical fertilizers. Accumulation of minerals. Then chemical fertilizers limit activities of nitrifying bacteria. So this is very important. Impact of fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, they limit the activities of nitrifying bacteria. Fertilizers causes eutrophication of dams and waterways. Eutrophication. So these fertilizers are very important source of soil pollution as they result in eutrophication. They accumulate in the soil and uptake by plants of heavy metals, particularly cadmium, results in health issues. So the fertilizers results in health issues also, which is very important, one of the important source of soil pollution. So this is all about fertilizers, second important source of soil pollution. Now the third important source of soil pollution is unskilled irrigation, or we can say over irrigation. Waterlogging may occur when the drainage system of the agricultural field is not maintained scientifically. Waterlogging closes the passage of air to the soil, stops the growth of soil organisms, and makes the soil barren. So this is how over irrigation closes the passage of air to the soil. Aeration of the soil, it stops aeration of the soil and stops growth of soil organisms. One more important thing is, due to over irrigation, dissolved salts, they remain there in the soil. Water gets evaporated due to heat, but dissolved salts, they remain there for longer time in the soil, and during vaporization of water they come up in the uppermost layer of the soil, which results in soil salination. So this is how over irrigation is also one of the important source of soil pollution. Now the next important source is radioactive waste. Radioactive waste. Now the radioactive waste which is thrown on the ground surface also results in soil pollution. Storage and disposal of radioactive waste from nuclear power plants causes soil pollution. They get deposited on the topsoil and emits continuously gamma radiations. So the radioactive elements, radioactive materials are causing soil pollution. Now the next important source is industrial waste, industrial discharge. Industries are also discharging various types of pollutants on the soil, which results in soil pollution. Most of the industrial waste, rejected materials like calcium carbonate, magnesium sulfate, when they are discharged on the ground, causes soil pollution. The industrial waste are all dumped over the soil surface by almost all industries, and this causes increase in toxicity of the soil, or this increases toxicity of the soil. So this is how industrial waste is also one of the important source of soil pollution. So this is all about various sources of soil pollution. Now after discussing sources, let us talk about effects of soil pollution. Soil pollution is having various effects on humans, environment, that is plants and animals. So let us discuss all the effects of soil pollution. First and very important effect is reduction in soil productivity. When soil gets polluted, soil productivity reduces. So here in this picture we can see the soil salination, due to which soil productivity is affected. So this is how soil salination or soil pollution results in reduction in soil productivity. It reduces soil productivity, due to which agricultural production is reduced. So this is the first impact, reduction in soil productivity. Now the second important impact is loss of soil microbes, loss of microorganisms present in the soil. Now this loss of variety of microorganisms are caused due to change in the genetic makeup of the soil. Now change in the genetic makeup of the soil is caused due to different chemicals that we discharge, that we throw on the ground surface. Due to these chemicals, various animals die, loss of supply of food chain, imbalance in food chain. So these are the problems caused due to discharge of different harmful chemicals in soil. So loss of soil microbe is also one of the important impact caused due to soil pollution. Loss of soil microbes, which are very essential to maintain soil fertility and water holding capacity of the soil. The microorganisms which are essential for water holding capacity, to enhance water holding capacity and to enhance fertility of the soil, are lost due to pollutants which are discharged from industrial and various types of pollutants. So this is one of the impacts, that is loss of soil microbes. Now the third important impact is health effects on human health. Now the soil or the land, when contaminated with toxic chemicals and pesticides, lead to problem of skin cancer and human respiratory systems. The toxic chemicals can reach our body through food and vegetables that we eat as they are grown in polluted soil. So when we grow vegetables in polluted soils, the pollutants which are there in the soil are taken up by the plants during their growth. These pollutants are taken up by the vegetables during their growth, and this is how these chemicals enter in our food chain, which results in various health issues. The problems like skin cancer or human respiratory systems, problems of human respiratory systems can be caused due to these harmful pollutants. So this is how human health or health effects is also one of the important impact of soil pollution. The next important impact of soil pollution is soil salination. We have already talked about soil salination. It is caused due to overuse of chemical fertilizers, pesticides and over irrigation. When we overuse fertilizers and pesticides, residues of these fertilizers and pesticides, they remain in the soil, especially in uppermost layer of the soil. And due to over irrigation, dissolved salts, they come up during the vaporization of the soil, water, and they remain in the uppermost layer of the soil, which causes soil salination, and soil salination reduces soil fertility or soil productivity. So soil salination is also one of the important impact. Now after studying effects of soil pollution, let us talk about control measures of soil pollution. How can soil pollution be controlled? Now, to control soil pollution, the very important thing that needs to be done is we should reduce the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. We must say no to chemical fertilizers and pesticides, because chemical fertilizers and pesticides are responsible for soil pollution, as well as they have adverse impacts on our health too, and therefore we should say no to the chemical fertilizers. Instead, we should use biofertilizers. We should use organic fertilizers or biofertilizers. Now biofertilizers, the types of biofertilizers are: for nitrogen we can use rhizobium bacteria for leguminous crops, from leguminous crops, azotobacter. So these are the biofertilizers for nitrogen. To make soil nitrogen rich, we can use rhizobium bacteria or azotobacter. For phosphorus, we can use phosphatica for all crops to be applied with. Rhizobium, azotobacter, azospirillum and acetobacter. So these are the bacteria or biofertilizers that we can use for phosphorus. And for enriched compost, phosphatica and azotobacter culture, we can use phosphatica and azotobacter culture for enrichment of the soil. So this is how, instead of using chemical fertilizers, we can use biofertilizers. These biofertilizers are very essential or useful for maintaining, for reducing soil pollution, and they are also having other benefits too. Let us talk about benefits of using biofertilizers. Biofertilizers increase crop yield by 20 to 30%. They replace chemical nitrogen and phosphorus by 25%. Biofertilizers stimulate plant growth. They activate soil biologically. They maintain soil microbes. They maintain soil microbes, due to which biological activity increases in the soil. Biofertilizers restore soil natural fertility. So natural fertility of the soil is restored due to these biofertilizers, and they provide protection against drought and some soil borne diseases. Biofertilizers maintain soil fertility as well as water holding capacity of the soil, due to which we can fight against the drought conditions. So this is how biofertilizers are useful. So by using biofertilizers, we can minimize the problem of soil pollution. Now, along with biofertilizers, we should also go for green manures. Now what is green manures? Green manure is nothing but a plant material incorporated with the soil while green or soon after maturity, for improving the soil to supply nutrients particularly nitrogen, to the standing crop. Green manuring is a practice of plugging or burying the undercomposed green plant tissues into the soil for improving structure and fertility of the soil. So these green manures also help to maintain soil fertility. We can grow some specific types of crops to increase nutrient, to make the soil nutrient rich, to increase fertility of the soil. So green manures can also be the option which can minimize the soil pollution. So biofertilizers and green manures can be used instead of using chemical fertilizers. Now here are advantages of green manures. Green manures improves soil fertility and soil structure. They supply nutrients to the soil, maintain organic status of the soil, they maintain soil microbes, prevent soil erosion, they increase activity of microorganisms as said earlier, they used as a mulch and weed control, and amelioration of soil problems. So these are the advantages of green manures. So this is how green manures can be used as a substitute for chemical fertilizers. One more important thing is we should adopt the methods of biological pest control. Biological control of pests should be there. Now biological pest control is nothing but it is a way of controlling pests and diseases in agriculture that relies on natural predation rather than chemicals. Instead of using chemicals, we can using pest organisms to control other pests. So this is how biological pest control method works. Biological pest control is a way of controlling pests and diseases in agriculture that relies on natural predation rather than chemicals. So it can also be one of the methods to minimize soil pollution, biological pest control. One more important thing is use of cattle dung should be encouraged. We should encourage use of cow dungs. Farm yard manure. A farm yard manure can be used instead of using chemical fertilizers, and this farm yard manure can be prepared by cow dung, cow urine, waste straw and dairy waste, or agricultural waste can also be used to prepare this farm yard manure. So this is how we should encourage farmers to use cattle dung, cow dung as a fertilizers. So it is also one of the important measure to minimize soil pollution. One more solution to minimize soil pollution is we should stop make the soil dirty. We should stop spreading garbage. We should stop throwing garbage on the soil. The throwing of solid waste or any other garbage on the soil results in soil pollution. So we should not throw garbage or solid waste on the ground. So to avoid such a kind of activity can also be one of the important mitigative measures to minimize soil pollution. Other solutions include say no to plastic. We should not use plastic. We should not throw plastic which is non-degradable, and so we should stop using plastic bags and switch over to paper and cloth bags. So not to use plastic and to use paper bags and cloth bags can also be the solution to minimize soil pollution. One more important thing is, and very important thing is, make people aware about the concept of reduce, reuse and recycle. 3 R's. We should go for 3 R's. We should reuse the things. We should reduce the use of materials especially. First of all, we should reduce the use. Then we should reuse the things. If it is not possible to reduce the things, reduce the use, then we can at least reuse the things. We can use things again and again. And some materials can be recycled. So by reducing, reusing and recycling, we can control soil pollution. So this is how soil pollution can be minimized. So in this session, we have talked about soil pollution, its sources, effects of soil pollution and soil pollution controlling measures. This is all about today's session. Thank you.